Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites coming in, week out, telling our people who we are, telling about the times that we're in. But first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Dutch. Double honors to the apostles and elders who made millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things. And salutations to all your Akim across the world who are doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So basically what I want to go into is, I've been inspired by a video from Elder Apostle Bar. He did a video on with the title The Unknown God, to the unknown God. And I'm going to go a little bit in the book of Acts, concerning that story. And when he did that video, I also did a video about it this morning. But it inspired me because it also reminded me basically the path that I took when I was about to come in as truth, and searching for the name, the name of the Father, which is Yahweh, and the name of His Son, which is Yahweh Shai. And if you can start at, let me introduce the story. So this story goes about a group of Jews that were living in Athens, and but they didn't have the name of the Father and the name of His Son. And Paul was, to the Spirit, Paul was sent there. Apostle Paul was sent there basically to preach Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai over there, to give them the names, and the understanding. So, because they didn't knew the name, so they had at their place where they were living, they had a plaque at the wall, which was written the unknown God, was written on it, Can you start at Acts 16?
This is Acts chapter 17, verse 16, and it reads, "Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry."
Yeah, because you had the group of Jews who were really wanted to worship the Father and the Son, and you had also a group. It's basically like this time, and you also had a group who were going after all these idols. It's basically the same thing what is going right now. You got all our people going to churches, whether they be Catholic, whether they be into Islam, Jehovah Wickedness, you name it. Evangelists, all kinds of nonsense. Worshipping stone and wood. They got the statues at their houses. Cross at the wall. All those things. So yeah, like the scripture said, there's no new thing under the sun. They're still doing the same things.
Verse 17. "Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews, and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him."
Yeah, and that also shows you that you need to be outside to preach this gospel, because he was at the marketplace, discussing with them, The scripture said, debate thy cause with thy neighbor, Book of Proverbs, wisdom cry without, on the streets, that's where we at the gates of the city. Here we have the train station at the back, the train, the tram, the metro is over there, taxi, the buses, you have hotels here, food establishments, soccer stadium, shopping malls. So, we're in the middle of where Jake is, Yeah, middle of a market there. Yeah, people be going up and down, constantly.
No, it's not it. It's not
Luke 14 and 23. "And the Lord said unto the servants, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled."
Yeah, exactly. Go out on the highways and byways. So that shows you we have to be outside. Go out on the highways and hedges. Be there where people can see you. If we would be in a building, nobody could see us. And a lot of times you have people coming to the camp, and have questions. If we would be in the church, or like Israel United and Caesar, selling breakdowns, people don't get the knowledge, Yeah.
With the 501c3 chart.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's an agreement with the government on what they can and cannot say. So you're not getting the whole truth, not the 100% truth, and also a doctrine of lies. Okay. I got a precept for you. This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High, for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have the seal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what was going on with the people, with the Jews in Athens. You know, that small group that wanted to worship the Father. You know, and it was also, it reminds me also of myself. You know, before I came into the truth. You know, I wanted to worship the Father and the Son. I knew there was something wrong with that image, you know, that white dude, that sodomite looking dude, you know, and also I always hated that name Jesus, you know. That always made me so angry, you know. That name still to this day can make me violent, you know, when people be like, in the name of Jesus, this, that. I mean, like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, I used to pray to the Heavenly Father. I would say, oh, Heavenly Father. You know, I never liked saying that name Jesus neither.
Yeah, me neither, man. Well, yeah, Father of creation, you know. Yeah.
Verse 3. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Yeah, can you read the
Come on. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Yeah, if you are ignorant, you're unknowing, you know. But nowadays, basically, people don't have an excuse for not knowing, because first and foremost, you know, we are on YouTube, you know. All these brothers got YouTube channels, you know, posting videos, you know. Shalom, Makiao.
Look like you got Native American attire on. Really, from afar, it looked Native American.
Are you trying to roast somebody over here?
No, man.
We ain't tribe hopping over
Why
here.
would I do that? I just said he looked like he has Native American clothing on.
I got my boy's back over here. Hit the backside.
Yeah, in a minute.
In a minute, huh?
In a minute.
Tell your superior. In a minute, huh?
Yeah, man, so, yeah.
Come on, hurry up, huh?
So the thing is, you know, so like I said, basically nowadays people don't have an excuse, you know, because you also had Kanye West, you know, he was also talking about the Hebrew Israelite, you know, he had this dude, what's his name again, that rapper, I forgot his name, man, he also went on the cross, did that also the cross thing, Kendrick Lamar, so, you know, it's been out there, you know.
With the crown too?
Yeah.
With the diamonds
in it, yeah.
Also that guy from
the baby also did it.
And also that guy from
Nick Cannon?
Yeah, Nick Cannon, yeah.
You gotta put this place real quick.
Yeah, so, you know, and there are more artists that spoke about it. So, you know, basically the thing is out there, you know, and these cats from Israel United and Caesar, they are very commercial, so people know them, you know. If people see us and they always talk about these purple cats, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I think I saw y'all. No, that's not us, you know. They teach that you're an Israelite. They so-called talking about the law, while they have dreadlocks and lineups, you know, which is against the law, you know. And they always targeting single, you know, like single parent females, you know, females with children, you know, all about females. Having a wedding on the Passat, is the finish finished? Give him the scriptures there. Also the X, you know. Yeah, I can. Yeah, give him the X, then the precept is done. Voilà.
Acts 7 and 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
Yeah, so that's already clear. That's already a cut, you know. But these are scriptures that they don't want to read, you know. With my job, I encounter a lot of times with so-called Christians, you know. And then I give him scriptures like this, and also like Matthew chapter 5 verse 17, where Yahushua said that the law still counts, you know, that he did not come to change the law, because that's what they teach in the church, you know. People be going to church for like 40 years and speak with me like 5 minutes and the whole world is upside down for them, you know. They be like, shit, I never knew that that was written in the Bible. Yeah, of course, because you listen to a pastor, preacher man, that only picks a few things and give you a happy feeling, and at the end of the church you have your pork sandwich, you know. Yeah, and you pay your money. You have the good feeling, so the money in your pocket be burning. So when that basket goes round, you be like, yeah, you know, in the name of Jeebers.
Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of mine rest?
Exactly. So what is the place? The earth is his footstool. So why are you gonna build a temple? So you're gonna hide there so nobody can see you? No, but the scriptures also talk about you shall see your teachers. You know, you have to be seen. Otherwise, how can people be come to Yahweh Basham Yahushai if they can't see you? They have to search for you. Everybody knows that we're standing here, you know, for years. People know it. A lot of times you got people coming to the camp to be like, yeah, I saw y'all for years, you know. I was wondering what y'all doing, you know. Then you start explaining them.
This is John 10 and 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish.
Exactly, because if you need to hear this truth, you know, and the same, it goes for the story of Apostle Paul when he went to Athens, you know, it's the same thing, you know. He was moved by the Spirit to go to those people. They didn't have the name, so he went to them to give them the name of the Father and the Son, you know, to the Spirit. So, you know, if it's for you to understand, you will get it at due time, you know. Because don't forget, in the book of Matthew, chapter 13, Yahushua, you know, he was preaching to the people a certain amount, you know, a certain time. There were a lot of people, so he went on a boat. So all the people stood on the shore, and he started to talk in parables, dark sayings. So the disciples came to him and they asked him, like, why are you talking in parables to them? So they never gonna get it. And then Yahushua explained to them, like, it's for you to understand it, but for them not, you know. For the majority of our people, they don't need to get this, you know, so they won't get it. But if the Most High has chosen you, you know, if He has chosen you to understand this, you know, when the time is fit, you will understand this, you know. Is het klaar toch?
No, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which given them me is greater than all. And
exactly, yeah. So you cannot go against the will of the Most High. This is Isaiah, what's it, 55, you know. My word shall not return unto me void, you know. So this is the Most High's plan, whether you believe or not, you know, Romans 3 and 3. If you don't believe, it doesn't matter, it will still come to pass, you know. The Third World War will still come, you know. All your heathens are going in slavery, whether you like it or not, you know. You can take all these laws, you know, even with the coolies, you know, take this law, this and that, you cannot say coolie anymore, blah, 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 you know. Well, hey, it won't help you. You will go into captivity. You will go into captivity. Yes, that's a fact.
my Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand.
Exactly. So, like I said, you cannot go against the will of the Most High. You know, you cannot go against the will of the Most High. Can you go to Acts chapter 17 and then start from 16 again?
This is Acts chapter 17, verse 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, you have, like nowadays, you have people who worship all kinds of nonsense, and you have people who worship Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You know, so there's no new thing under the sun. You know, and the fun part is, you know, you have this Nate Satan talking about Most High Christ blessed and all this nonsense. You know, and in the time of the Grecians, that name he uses was already there. So they already knew, those Jews back then already knew that that was not the right name. So that's why they wrote on a plaque to the unknown God, you know.
Deuteronomy 5 and 7. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Yeah, exactly. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You know, there's only one God. You know, the Father of creation. He created everything, good and evil. Everything is created from the Most High. You know, it started with Him. He created His first spirit. You know, Yahushai. And Yahushai basically had the blueprint, and you know, with the angels. You know, created everything, everything that you see, good and evil. Kan dat? Je hebt extra nog, hè?
Ja, 4 and 12.
Oh ja, die had ik ook, ja. Dat is precept.
Oh ja, lees maar.
Lees maar, ja, want ik zit nog in...
This is Acts 4 and 12. Neither is there salvation in any other for us, like neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
Exactly, because and that's also the thing that they teach in the church, you know. And they want to talk about, doesn't matter how you call him, he has many names. No, many titles, you know. You might have a nickname or whatever, you know, but there's only one name given. It's one name where the true power is in, you know. It's one, like the brother just read, there's only one name given among heaven whereby we can be saved, you know. So yeah, it's nonsense, you know. And Nate want to claim like, yeah, he doesn't know the name. He went to One West with the elder apostles. They went to the same school, so he knew about the name, you know. But he took that back, and he's misleading all these people. But yeah, the majority of our people need to die anyway. So yeah, you know, that's, yeah, you know. Like what's it, the book of Job, I think it's chapter 12 or something, the deceiver is, you know.
Precept, I don't know if you pulled it. Prophets?
18, right?
Yeah. You want it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 18 verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run it into it, and it is safe.
Exactly, and it's safe, yeah. The righteous run it into it and it's safe, you know. The first time when I heard the name, I really could feel it in my spirit, like, yeah, this is it, you know. Because first, you know, I already knew that Jeebus was up, you know. So I was already aggressive when I heard, you know, my mother about Jeebus, this, that. I was like, fuck that shit, man. Even at the time that I didn't want to, had nothing to do concerning the scriptures and whatever, because I was so, it didn't make no sense to me, you know. I'm like, we have to praise the so-called white man, this dude that put us in slavery, because that was also a thing that was always big in my mind, you know. I'm like, nah, that doesn't make sense, you know. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, it didn't make sense to me, you know. So and then then I came to stumbled upon GOCC. Then they were like the Ahaya, and you know, I'm like, I am that I am. I'm like, no, that's not correct, you know. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say just a name. Let me just pray to the Father of creation and the Son, you know. And then eventually the name Yahweh Basham Yahushai were given to me, you know. Yeah, and here we are. Yeah. Can you go to Job 12 and 16? Heb je nog iets? Ja.
Hey, shalom, hey, shalom. This is Job chapter 12 and verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Yeah, because all those peoples that are being deceived right now, it's a plan of the Most High. Like Yahushua started to talk in parables. It's not for them to understand it. You know, they need. You know, don't forget, the majority of the people need to be put to death, and it's still mercy. Because you got to realize, in the day of Noah, you know, there were only 8 souls that survived. You know, it was Noah with his wife, his sons, and 3 sons with their wives. And some animals, you know. The whole earth was flooded, you know, so nobody survived. Now, this time, you got the elect, 144,000, you got the 1/3 in America. and you got the unnumberable multitude. So that's a lot of mercy, you know. People don't realize it, you know. They don't realize it. When they realize it, it's going to be far too late. Go back to the Acts.
This is Acts chapter 17. Start with 16 again.
Nee, ik kan wel verder gaan.
Kan. Verse 17. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. Then
and this shows you, you know, like I said earlier, that you need to be outside. Otherwise, people cannot get the word, you know. Yeah, you can be like Nate Satan and his purple minions, you know, selling breakdowns, you know. That's not, you know, that's not how it's supposed to be, you know. Yeah, that's what they do. You have videos and then be like, yeah, if you want to see more, then you have to, you know, put some money there. Even if you want to teach there, you know, you have to buy a camp starter kit, you know. You have the purple outfit. You have to buy everything, you know. It's all about money. You know, here in Great Millstone, you make your own garment like your spirit, how you like it, you know. Yeah. As long as the fringes are on it and the border of blue, you know.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 8. And it reads, verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Exactly, freely we have received. We got this, we learned this, we're still learning from an elder apostles on down, you know. So we're still learning for free. It's on YouTube. You can go on YouTube, whatever time. Sometimes you can't sleep, just look on YouTube. You see a video, give you exactly that what you need, you know. You get inspired. You know, sometimes you be like, I don't know, I don't have a topic for my video. You just watch the teaching of the elders, you know, the elder apostles. Or watch the teaching of them, and then I'll be like, oh, pause for a minute, make a video, you know. It just trigger you sometimes, you know. Or a brother reacts to the video of you, give you a beautiful scripture, you know. Beautiful.
Can I start a little bit up because I started immediately to the point, but I'm going to start a little bit up, like the brother was saying. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Exactly, preach to the children of Israel. That's why we're here. This area here, this location where a lot of Jacob descendants are living, you know. And they know we're here. You know, the majority of them, they don't appreciate us, but it doesn't matter because they need to die anyway, you know. But we standing here, of course, to the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, getting the blood of our own hands. Of course, we want salvation. Don't get it twisted. But it's also love to the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai for those who need to hear it. You know, you got to understand how much mercy this is. Because first and foremost, we are on the highways and byways. We are here every Saturday. You know, we continue until the end. You know, so we're here every Saturday. So people know that we're here. Plus, we are on YouTube. You know. So people have a lot of opportunities to come to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, you know. But like the brother read earlier, my sheep shall hear my voice, you know. For those who will need to hear it, they will hear it, you know.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 30, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Heavenly Father, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Yeah, and that's talking about Babylon the Great, you know, about America. The 1/3 in America shall be saved, you know. 2/3 is about to die. So that already shows you that's the majority, you know, the majority is about to die. You have the 144,000 and you have the unnumberable multitude, you know. That's a lot of mercy. In the day of Noah, it were 8 souls, you know, 8 souls. And he was preaching for 120 years, man. That also shows you the faith that he had in the Most High. To build a big ship on dry land and talk about rain, but not even a drop has ever fallen from the sky. You know, that shows you true faith. You know, and patience, preaching for 120 years, man. 120 years. Just let that sink in.
Finish the Acts? It's the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and the Stoics encountered him, and some said, "What will this babbler say?" Others some, "He seemed to be better forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahushai and the resurrection."
Yeah, because Apostle Paul was preaching to them. They didn't know about this, you know. They didn't. So it's the same thing right now. If you tell people like, yeah, the one that you call Jesus, you know, that's not his name. He's this so-called dark-skinned man, very dark. People be looking like you, like they see water burning, you know. Yeah, they'd be like, really, you know. And to some, it's like, yeah, I always knew something like that, you know.
Verse 19. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, "May we know what this doctrine, this new doctrine, whereof thou speakest, is?"
Yeah, because for them it was a new doctrine. They didn't know it. It's like for a lot of people nowadays, you know. They'd be like, "I never knew that," you know. You tell them like, you got those imposters there in Israel, you know. They talking about, and you know, the fun part is, you know, with the Christians also, they know that the Bible explains, you know, it's very clear about when the children of Israel are back in Israel, there's going to be peace, but still they see those people like the true people, you know. They just accept it, you know. They're like, oh, it's them, you know. No, it's not them.
I know what is written in
yeah.
the scripture.
Yeah, but they don't read. That's the fun part. They don't read it, and then you show it to them. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah."
Verse 20. For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears, we would know therefore what these things mean.
Yeah, and that's, you know, the Spirit moved them. They wanted to know, you know. But sometimes somebody comes to the camp and you really, they don't know. It's like, yeah, it's a total new thing for them. But they're eager, you know, to want to know it, you know. They want to have all this knowledge. They keep on asking questions, you know. Sometimes you have to, you know, pull the handbrake and be like, okay, slow down, man. You got too much questions. Let me answer everything one by one, you know.
Verse 20. Verse 21, Salakia. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else, but either to tell or to hear some new things. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, "Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. For as I passed by and beheld your devotion, I found an altar with the inscriptions to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, that him declare I unto you."
See, so Paul knew that, you know, he fell to the Spirit, that they really wanted to worship the Father and the Son, but they didn't have that knowledge, you know. So they had an altar with the name on it to the unknown God, because they didn't know it. And that shows you, like the Elder Apostle Kabar said, they have much more respect than Satan. How the fuck are you gonna call most high Christ blessed? You know, it's nonsense. Christ, this thing has been beaten into us into slavery, and now you're gonna teach it again to our people. So-called you're getting them out of these whorehouses, out of these churches, into your whorehouse, because it's all about the money, man. It's all about the money.
That wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. I have the precept on that. This is Romans. This is Romans chapter 2, verse 4.
Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeked for,
But the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, because, and you know, and the majority of our people, they're always searching, they're always kind of spiritual, you know, but they always search, but it's not for everybody. Like I said earlier, it's not for everybody. That's why Yahweh Shai started to talk in parables, you know. It's not for everybody to understand it, you know. But our people want to understand it, but not everybody gonna understand it, you know. So yeah, it's first and foremost for the elect, you know. Those that the Most High has selected to get this understanding, understand this, you know. Not be offended, you know.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have the zeal of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah, they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You know, they want to worship the Father, but they don't know. Like, for example, how the people in the west coast of Africa, they circumcise the children, the sons, you know. And they be like, yeah, my father also did it with me. His father also did it with my father. So they think it's a culture thing, but it goes back to the scripture, you know. Because the scriptures are very clear. Because you know, if you go to the laws, many times it says that you have to teach your children these things, you know. So it was always in the spirit to teach the children. Only along with the time they forgot why they did it, you know. They forgot that they did it for the Most High. They forgot the name. It was taken away, but now it's coming back, you know. We have the name back. The name is back, you know. We are about, you know, we are very close to that time. Can you go to Romans 11 and 13, or 13 and 11? You know, we are getting in that time. Yeah, 13 and 11. We are about, you know, we are very close in that time for Yahweh Shai to come back, you know. That's, you know, like I said earlier, we are here, standing here for years. You know, we have brothers that make, everybody is making their own videos, you know. This word is being preached in all kinds of languages. You have brothers in Suriname, Germany, England, of course in America, you know, Italy, don't forget the brothers in Italy, you know. So they also preaching in the Italian language, the German language. I also make videos in the Pacumento language. I also did video in the French language. A brother from our camp also did a video in the French language, you know. So basically, you know, we have the LA camp that's teaching Spanish in America, you know. And yeah, we have a camp in Mexico, Peru, got the brothers in Peru. Don't forget about them, Colombia. So the word is being preached in all kinds of languages, you know. So basically, people don't have to go for this thing because the teachings are on the internet, on YouTube, you know. Even you have brothers sharing stuff on Instagram and whatever, you know. So I think even on Facebook, you know, because there was also a brother here from Curacao. You know, he didn't came for a long time, but from time to time he used to pass by the camp and then film a little bit and post it on his Facebook for Curacao, you know.
Brothers in Suriname had a big commotion 3 years ago. I think the entire Surinamese community knowing about that too.
Exactly.
You know, they were all mocking and stuff, you know, so they're known.
Yeah, and that's also a thing, you know, because like I said, a lot of our people need to die. So the Most High, you know, he created a situation where everybody got angry and while, you know, basically they were the news of the day, so that nobody has a cloak for the sin, you know. So they cannot be like, oh, I didn't know, I never heard about that, you know.
The book of Romans chapter 13 verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Yeah, so while everybody is in La La Land, for us, you know, if you understand this is the time to stay awake and see what's going on, you know. They got the digital euro now, you know, so you have more options that you can do with your phone. Now with ING, you can go to the bank without your bank card, you know, to get money out of the ATM, you know, up to 100 euro, you know, for now. You know, soon everything's going to be digital. The MOTP is going to be realized. It's going to be made mandatory. Yeah, it's already there, but it's not made mandatory. You know, it's June. Ain't no microchip. Yeah, go away, Nate Satan. You know, nonsense. Yeah, keep walking after that dude. You know, and see what you're going to get. You know. Hey, this is the time to get out, wake up out of sleep. You know, get back to Yahweh Basham Yahushua. Because like in the days of Noah, when it's too late, it's too late, you know. When you're too late, it's too late. When the Most High closed that door, you know, then you know, and the rain started to fall from the sky. Then the people be like, oh, he was preaching the truth, you know. He was talking about rain. We didn't want to believe him, but now it's raining, you know. They wanted to enter, but they had. It was too late, you know. It's too late. It's going to be the same thing. People think, oh, so you want to talk about that the Son of the Most High is going to come with a spaceship, and angels are going to be in spaceships and this and that, you know. Yeah, people, they don't believe it, but hey, when it's there, then they're going to believe it, and then it's going to be too late, you know. Then it's going to be too late. The majority of people are going to find out through pain, you know, death through pain. And can you go to, Peter's chapter 3, start from verse 8 till 12.
First Peter,
Second, it's like second. Start at verse 3.
Verse 3. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken.
2 Peter chapter 3 verse 3.
Oh yeah, 3. I started with 2, so like okay. And knowing this verse, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming?
Yeah, and you still have it till this day. People were like, yeah, oh, you really believe a black man's going to save you, all this and that. See, you know, you got to realize, you know, this also thing, how angry people were because of the so-called king made his apologies about slavery, you know, which is also a puppet custom, you know, a puppet show, because it doesn't make no sense. He's so-called busy with his personal investigation to look what his family got to do concerning slavery, what part his family played in that, you know, which is a big of nonsense, because don't forget, his family used to roll in this golden couch with slaves, with pages of slaves on it, you know. And then you want to talk about, yeah, we want to know what part we had. No, you Dutch people, you special Dutch people, you dearly beloved Dutch people, you were the first one who sent a slave ship from the west coast of Africa to America. You were the last one that stopped with slavery, so you still want to know what part y'all had in slavery. Y'all have the biggest part of all the Edomites, man. Y'all have the biggest part of all the Edomites concerning slavery. So yeah, y'all gonna get a special award for that, you know.
Let's not forget, man, that you are the people that always document every fucking thing.
Exactly, and now you need an investigation for years because you want to know what part your family had to do with slavery.
Shit.
Man, this shit is there, man. Even Stephen Wonder can see all the facts, man.
Yeah. They are peasants. They are because a lot of people in the Dutch, though, especially the upper class, that they stole from the real Willem of Orange, or Oranje, how you want to call him. You know, they stole that whole title, they stole the whole kingdom, everything. Yeah, the name, everything.
Even the weapon, the lion, they stole it.
Can't.
There's nothing of sale. And that's funny. There's an article that I posted in the group app a couple of days ago that they were giving stuff back to, I believe it was. Yes, it's Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, of course, them coolies. And other countries, some other countries, they were giving stuff back to them, you know, because they were like, yeah, there was stuff that we stole during slavery. Man, you don't only stole stuff, you also stole people, man.
Yeah.
But people get angry because the so-called king made his apology. So people were angry about that. They were angry about that we have to talk about slavery. They're angry about that. Man. But y'all can be angry whatever you want, but I don't care, man. I can wait for that day when Yahushua is coming back and Yahushua, you know, I can be there to see y'all going down and see y'all going into chains, man. That's going to be beautiful. Crying for mercy. Yeah, talk that shit right then. You know, start on that moment. Open your mouth. You know, talk against. You know, start calling us niggers and this and that. You know.
Look at us the wrong way. I got scripture.
Yeah.
Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 5. Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
Exactly, and that's the majority of people. Like, nah, man, that's never gonna happen, man. Oh, black man's gonna come on a spaceship and save us? Nah, man. And nothing gonna change, man. Yeah. You gotta see it, man. Find out the hard way. Find it out while you're shitting yourself, you know? Literally.
People always was like that,
yeah,
since the beginning. Have a precept? This is 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy.
Exactly, because eventually, you know, words ain't gonna do nothing anymore. You know, Yahweh came about 2,000 years ago. He came to on this planet to talk. You know, this time he does not come to talk. He comes to give every man a reward according to his work shall be. You know, so he comes to bring judgment. You're gonna be judged for every shit that you did. You know, you're gonna be judged, and we are hoping for a good reward. You know, so we do our best. You know, we try our best. You know, to please Yahweh Basham Yahushai.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming?
Yeah, where is the promise? Till nowadays, you know, people be like, yeah, when is this never gonna happen? What are you talking about? This never gonna happen.
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah, they be like, yeah, no, this never gonna happen. Like my father, you know, he got all these wooden crosses in his house, you know. And then I caught him, you know, he was reading the book of Psalms, and then I told him, like, okay, go to Psalms chapter 147, you know, concerning the words only for Jacob, you know. Made him read a little bit, but he didn't want to, I already felt that he didn't want to go into that. And I'm like, yeah, this is only for us, this and that. He's like, man, if the Most High wanted, he can stop everything, and this and that. I'm like, yeah, but that's not how it's supposed to be. You know, this whole book needs to be fulfilled. And he said, like, yeah, it's only stories, but yet he's going to church and all that nonsense. But then he want to tell me, yeah, it's only stories, you know. I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. You know, the blood is off my hand, you know.
Yeah. This is only for the children of Israel.
Yeah, man. And first of all, it's for the elect.
For the elect.
For the elected ones, for the selected ones. They are the first ones who are going to get it, you know. And then the rest of Israel is going to come back to the nutsacks of the elect. Those are facts, you know.
Where the promises of his coming, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
Yeah, because that's the same spirit that people have nowadays. Like, nothing's going to change, everything's going to stay the same. Isn't that? That's what they think, you know. They still, yeah, they don't believe it, you know. They think nothing's going to change. When everybody's in La La Land, because now we are in festival season. Almost every weekend there's a festival going on, so people be partying and bullshit. While they be signing all these laws to make sure to fuck everybody up, you know. Getting all these cities, you know, making it hard for you to come there with your car, you know. Now they wanna make roads where you have to pay to drive your car, so that, you know, eventually they want to control you. If you are not able to move fast, you know, you are easy to control, you know. It's all about that.
50-minute cities. Because that is what they are trying to create. They locked up an important part of in the city here in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
It is only a test run to see, like, hey man, you know how you can be controlled, and you know you cannot maneuver quick, you know. So exactly. There you are, like the brothers say, you're locked up in the city, man. You're locked up in a part of the city, not the whole city, a part of the city.
Yeah, man. And China is, I said it, like the number one in those things, because I wrote an article of, I was reading an article like a couple of weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago. I didn't put it in the group chat, but I was reading it, and I was like, they had a building, you know. I believe like 1,500 people were living in it or something like that, and there was a lot of people, you know. And they have everything in it. was a swimming pool in it, fitness establishment, a shopping mall. So the people didn't have they didn't have to go get out of that building. But those are the things that they want, you know. You are locked in. There's no way where you wanna hide, you know. If you are here outside, you know, you still have places with wood and stuff, you know. Let's say you're running for the law or whatever, you know. You still can hide somewhere. But if you are in that building, where you wanna hide? Don't forget, there are cameras everywhere. You know. And probably everything is, you know, is electric, so you have to open it with, you know, with some kind of, with a card or whatever, you know. Or maybe they already chipped. I don't know. The story didn't say it. But the people were living there. They go to the jobs there. Everything was there, you know.
For convenience.
Yeah, convenience. Yeah, exactly. That's how easy it'll get you, you know. It's convenient, man. You don't need to go outside, you know. With the C-19, he had the people all comfortable in their own houses, you know. You have to stay inside, you know, don't worry, man. You can order everything online. People, the food will be delivered at your door, you know, your groceries going to be delivered at your door. Everything's going to be delivered. There's no reason for you to go outside. So they can pinpoint you exactly. You stay in the house, get fat, you know, not able to defend yourself, you know.
Yeah, going anyway.
Yeah.
This is the article.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, this is the other article in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, they also have it.
Yeah,
oh,
they
with
built.
the snake.
They built a big. They call it the line, and that is also like in China that you have everything in it, so you cannot go nowhere. And it is in the desert, so you cannot go nowhere. You know,
If you
and
go
they have
outside, yeah, in the desert, you're fucked.
Yeah, man. It goes a 105-mile long city will snake through the Saudi desert. Is that a good idea? It's not a good idea.
But that one's not already built, right? No.
Yeah, they are busy building it.
They're busy
Yeah. And they it can hold 9 million residents.
Yeah.
9 million?
9 million residents.
That's almost the country of Holland. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's more than half of the people that you have here living in this country. So where they say like Israel can count everybody. With all these immigrants and stuff. Yeah. Like when the plane crashed here in Belmermeer, you had address where there were like, you know, small apartments, you know, those flat buildings, you know, like 2 or 3 rooms, and there were like 30 people on one address, you know.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Yeah, man. A lot of people are not registered.
Registered.
Yeah, can't. First 5.
Oh yeah, wait. Hold that. Then we do the second right.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Heavenly Father, for I am rich.
Yeah, exactly. Because now, you know, yeah, this dude, I believe he is also from Kick Out Zwarte Piet. You know, he was also talking about, yeah, this is the first step, and now we want money. Well, let me set something straight. We, the men of Great Millstone, we don't want your money. We want you. Let me get that clear. No, we want you with you. We want y'all to be slaves for us. You know, 1,000 years, all y'all heathens outside of the nation of Israel, all of y'all are going into captivity. Every single one of you is going to be under us in chains, hardcore slavery. And after 1,000 years, you know, after 1,000 years, all y'all heathens, except you so-called white people, the Edomites, except you so-called white people, are going to have your country back, but you're going to be under the children of Israel. But you so-called white people, Edomites, after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, are we going to have fun with your people? Y'all going to be exterminated. Like how you're doing with the world nowadays, with the animals, you know. So that's exactly what, yeah, you're extending all these animals, you know, polluting all the earth. That's why y'all after the slavery, y'all cannot go to a country anymore, because y'all wicked, man. Y'all created to be wicked, you know. So you have to be exterminated. That's the only way that the earth is going to get rest for y'all people.
That's right.
So that's the only way. So yeah, after 1,000 years, so yeah, it's a beautiful thing to look forward to. This is your freedom right now. So go to all the parties that you are able, you know, go to them, make sure you're at the front row, you know, book your ticket, jump in your plane, go to all those countries, you know, go in those luxuries, villas and hotels and all that, enjoy it, because, hey, when after the slavery, The only thing that you look forward to is to be burned up.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
Yeah, you have like Nate Sagan. He's one of those shepherds. He don't give a fuck as long as his pockets being filled, you know. As long as he can get all the females that he wants, you know. Yeah, that's the priority that he has. Talk some shit about Great Millstone, you know. This and that, doing all this bullshit. Yeah, so they get angry at the king for making his excuse, you know. Angry at him, angry that they put the statue there. Now even at Vlissingen, they I call it the government over there, they removed the statue. So first people were they put racial slurs there and put the stickers on there, you know, on that monument concerning slavery. And now the government have removed it, and it went to a museum, I believe, and they said they have to go to the right way. You know, ask permission for that how you call it, that remembrance of slavery, that thing of remembrance. It's not really a statue, you know, and a monument, yeah, Wadak. So they have to ask for permission if they can put that monument somewhere in Vlissingen. But that also shows you the double standards that these devils work with. Because if it was something, let's say, if it was something for the ABC Sodomites, and somebody just put it there, then they would say, oh, it's a brave thing, it's a beautiful thing, it's good that somebody put something there for the city, because we need to be aware of the ABC Sodomites while they're targeting your children, you know. But something which this country, Holland, has a big hand in, because they have the biggest part concerning slavery. They have the biggest part in it, you know. My mother told me, look, on Curacao, you had the French there, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, and the English were there. The Dutch were last there, and they were the worst. Concerning punishment, torturement, things that they did with the people, they were the worst, you know. But yet, you know, you don't want to talk about slavery, you don't want to hear it. These niggers need to shut up. It happened a long time ago, okay? Don't start crying when you're going to be put in chains. Don't start crying when you're going to be whipped, you know. Don't start crying when we're going to take your children away from you, you know. Don't start crying when we're going to grab your females. We're not going to grab your boys like your sodomites were doing, you know. We're not going to rape men like your sodomites were doing, you know. We're not going to do that shit. No, we're gonna treat you awful, what's going to be lawful, you know.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
Yeah, at this time it's going to be with fire, you know. So the whole earth flooded with water, you know, start all over again. Yeah, the same thing is going to happen, but this time it's going to be with fire. And like I said earlier, hey, the Most High has a lot of mercy, because a lot of people are about to be saved, you know. That shows you a lot of mercy that the Most High has, you know.
He said, because we was talking about, you know, what's going to happen to the Edomites. Psalm chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Heavenly Father, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Yeah, they were happy, man, when they saw in the days of Jerusalem, when we were going down, because even then they were starting to sending us into slavery, you know. So they were happy. You know, the Most High is not protecting them anymore. You know? They were having fun. Book of Lamentation also speaks about that. You know, they were so very happy. Book of Obadiah also speaks about that. How happy they were. So yeah, happy are we gonna be? Yeah. You know?
O daughter of Babylon, you are to be destroyed.
Yeah, daughter of Babylon. That's talking about so-called America. You are to be destroyed. It will happen. You might not want to believe it, but it will happen. You're gonna find out the hard way.
Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Exactly. Happy are we gonna be if we're gonna see your downfall. We're gonna see this. Hey, you know how happy I was in the beginning of the C-19? To see the fear of the so-called white people, the Edomites. They were big eyes, man, scared, looking to everybody in the supermarket, afraid to touch, to come near anybody, scared. Inside the houses, sitting behind the window, looking outside with the big googly eyes, you know. And every night, Mark Rutte had the so-called press of every night of every week. He had this press conference, you know. People were sitting in front of the TV, you know, looking at his word. This dude knew nothing, know nothing until this day. Now they fall, so-called the cabinet broke off because of the asylum seekers, you know. Which is all, you know, I saw it. You know, you posted an article about it, I saw it, you know, I was like, I don't even, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. It's a puppet show. Because, okay, so now they're so-called falling. It's the country now without rules. Well, is nobody steering the country right now?
They had no formation yet. It was just...
It's always, yes, a temporary setup.
Yeah.
It was always a temporary setup. It doesn't make no sense. It's bullshit. People are looking at that while they passing all this law, because recently they signed that law that they, you know, concerning the night clock, you know, the lockdown and all that. So now they signed it officially a couple of weeks ago, you know. So people, like I said, people are in La La Land not knowing that they signed all these laws. So when they so-called calling out an emergency, you are locked down. You are not allowed to go outside of your house. You know? They're getting everything ready, you know, because don't forget, when it's time, when the MOTB is going to be made mandatory, they cannot have people going outside on the streets and demonstrate against it. You know, they have to have the people before that already in the houses. You know, so they can grab you and give you the thing. You know.
Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dash thy little ones against the stones.
Grab that little devil by the legs, swing it, throw it up, let it go head down, like a watermelon, splash. You know, those were the things that they were doing to us. You know, when Columbus went to the Americas, you know, with his people, you know, they were learning the ways of the so-called Indians, knew exactly when they went outside go hunting, and then they go to the villages, you know, grabbing the pregnant females, raping females, having fun with them, you know, hanging the pregnant females upside down, you know, on a tree or whatever, you know, on ropes, hanging them upside down, placing bets. What do you think is there? Is there a boy? Is there a girl inside? Rip the belly open, grab the baby, dash it to the floor, have a drink. Well, we're going to do the same thing with young people, you know. Gator baits, grabbing little children, babies, use it to catch alligators, crocodiles. Those were the things that they were used to do with our people. But no, you cannot talk about slavery. It's a long time ago. Y'all were doing all these things with fun. You still have pictures. You see little female, devilish female smiling at the hanging. You know. Pick a nigger. That's where the picnic thing come from, you know. Having a roast, you know, hang a nigger on, just pick a nigger, hang it, and then have a eat out, you know. Those were the things that they were doing. Taking pictures of it, make a postcard of it and send it to family members. Oh, we had a nice lynching last week, you know, sending those pictures. Because those are pictures.
After church.
After
church.
You know?
Yeah, devils.
Just grab a Jake and burn it for fun, you know? Listen to him screaming, oh, it's beautiful. He has so much pain, beautiful, man. And you expect us to have mercy on y'all? Don't forget, we only know a small part of the things that your people have done to us, you know? You only know a small part. On that day when Yahushua is going to come back, you know, he's going to pour that indignation upon his people. Indignation, the righteous anger. We're gonna understand, we're gonna know every little thing that y'all did against us. So we're gonna have a perfect hatred against you. Because you gotta imagine, nowadays, let's say right now, I had to grab a baby, a little devil baby, and dash it against the floor. Well, my stomach would turn a little bit, you know? Of course, I'd be like, yes, a devil, but, you know?
Still a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you'd be like, yes, baby, you know? Yeah, yeah, it's a little devil, but yeah, you know? But on that day, you're gonna have the spirit, you're gonna be, that hatred is gonna be perfect. You see a devil, you're gonna destroy it, you know?
This day and age, you're also going to be thinking about
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shabbat.
Hey, Shabbat.
Hey,
Shalom.
Shalom.
This day and age, you're also going to think about the consequences eventually.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they're going to catch you, they're going to... But then, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, then it's gonna be the law of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
Great payback.
And we're going to be the lawmakers.
Exactly, yeah.
I have a precept for you, Ak.
Kinda.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into. Oh, so you did all these things. Nobody needs to talk about it. You know, you go to school, history lessons. I had a big argument with my history teacher. It's only like the half of the page was talking about slavery. And then while I had all this story already that my mother told me, I had all the story like, why only so little part of slavery? While Holland has all these riches that they got, all the gold, everything that they got until this day, the coltan, they are everywhere, man. The diamonds, they got where? Do you think that Holland got diamonds? Holland got gold somewhere? Do they got oil somewhere? Because Shell used to be, I don't know if they still are from Holland, but they used to be the Koninklijke Shell, you know? It used to be from Holland. They went all over the world getting this oil and polluting the surrounding there, you know?
Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria, they did a lot. Because that's also a thing, you know, what they used to do was a dude that told me that, because they had a certain law concerning Shell. If they would go into a country and grab oil and they pollute the land, they have to restore it. But they say if the people self the people of that country destroy pipelines or whatever, and the things get polluted, then they don't have to do nothing. So what they used to do, they just give, you know, you have coons everywhere. So they just give the people a little bit money and tell them, okay, just go destroy a little bit there, destroy a little bit there. So they destroy on some places while they can pollute the whole thing and don't have to do nothing about it. You know?
It's rebels.
Yeah, and nowadays, I believe even the Nigeria sent Shell to court. I don't know if they were set free or something, because I remember like a while ago I read something about it, and I even posted an article, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I think that they didn't have to pay anything. You know?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah,
Here is the faith, is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So yeah, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So you think, okay, so you think nothing's gonna happen? You even had that dude. You also used to be on television. I did a real small video on it, like 2 or 3 minutes or something, on that dude. You know, I had a little bit time. I did a video concerning how these people of Holland, these dear Dutch people, had people from Suriname here in Amsterdam on Museumplein in the circus, you know. Because I only knew about Belgium having human zoos, but there were more countries. French also had it, you know. In my video, I talk about it. I don't know, did you make a video about it?
Not yet. I'm
Shots fired. So,
Shots fired.
But,
did you make the video about it?
I don't even want to ask him. But
oh, you talked to me? Oh, sorry.
But they had the people of Suriname, and they had, you know, there you had multiple tribes there, you know, because you had also the northern tribes also there, and the Levites were there, the Benjamins were there, Judites, you know. So they had people of multiple tribes there, you know, in circus, you know, performing there every day, making a lot of money. And that's beautiful, because these times, you know, okay, a lot of things I knew, and now their own people are bringing it out, you know, because this is the time that the Mosai is making Esau bear, you know. All his little secrets that he has, they're coming out now, you know. don't. Like I said, these people here in Holland, they're special, man. These Dutch people are special. So they even did that, you know. Had him in a circus. And they had to pretend like this and that, like they were living in the jungle, you know.
It's finished. You want to go back to 2 Peter?
Yeah, wait a minute. So, how you say that? But I say that. So you think you can do all these things and nothing gonna happen? You know, you don't have to pay for it. So you get angry because people are now. You got Jacob descendants talking about they want to see some money. You know. So now you get angry. Well, let me make one thing clear. I don't want your money. We don't want your money. We want you. And we're going to have you. The scripture said, we're going to give you the heathen for your inheritance. And we're going to own your asses. You know? So you think you can, so you really think you're going to get away with it. You can do all this shit and go away with it. And I know there's a lot more. This is nothing yet. We only, like I said, we only know a small part, you know? This is nothing yet, all the wickedness that you have done and are still doing against our people, you know? You got the numbers.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35, to verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yeah, can you read the last part again? Blood cannot be cleansed.
For blood it defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So that's very clear, you know. So you just picture these dearly beloved Dutch people going all over the world, murdering our people. Don't forget, in the time when Columbus was at war with the so-called Indians, Dutch people, they went there voluntary to murder so-called Indians, you know. That was a thing that they really wanted to do, you know. Have some fun over there. Okay. We're gonna have fun with y'all too, soon. Sooner than you believe.
Verse 34. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. For I, the heavenly Father, dwell among the children of Israel.
Yeah, not a cut. Children of Israel. Not for everybody. So, in order to keep the land clean, you shouldn't shed blood in there. You know. So yeah, the whole. That's why the scriptures talk about that blood is going to be as high as a horse's bridle, and a horse's bridle is the mouthpiece of a horse. So that already shows you how big that land is going to, it doesn't mean that we're going to swim in blood, but it shows you how many people.
Nee, je ging met die vrouw slaan. Ik heb het gezien. Je slaat die vrouw. Ja, dat is haar gekomen. Waarom sla je die vrouw dan? Wat zei ze voor mij ook?
Ja. Yeah, can you go back to the book of Peter?
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 6. Whereby the world that was being overflowed with water perished.
Yeah, so back then in the days of Noah, the world perished by water.
Please upon that. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
Exactly. Nobody knows exactly when it's time for Yahweh Shai to come back. Even Yahweh Shai knows it, you know. But, like the book of 2nd Ezra said, you know, 9:1, measure thou the time diligently in itself. How do we measure the time? See the events that are going on in the world. This shows us that the coming of Yahweh Shai is close, you know. You can see by all these things, like I said, these laws that they were secretly signing, you know, concerning. So when they said, oh, it's an emergency, so they can put everybody on lockdown, you know. Yeah, man. So yeah, you know, it's very close. By these things that are going on, we know that the time is near, you know.
Let me start from the top again. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Yeah, only Yahweh knows when it's time for Yahweh to come back. Don't forget, this is Yahweh's movie, you know. This is his movie that we are playing part in, you know. And Yahweh Adonai, can we play our part until the end, you know, and receive that crown of Yahweh Shai. It's a beautiful thing to look forward to, you know, while people be busy with, oh, I need to get this job, I'm going to go do this education, get this diploma. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with promoting yourself to get a better job or, you know, get a diploma. But you got to realize that this world is about to end, you know. It's ending sooner than you think, you know.
Verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Yeah, because in the days of Noah, don't forget, Noah was preaching for 120 years. So nobody took heed, you know. They were like, man, you're a bug out. He only had his household, you know. Look, man, we have the brotherhood. He had nobody. He had his wife and his children, you know. Everybody was against him. The whole world was against him. That also shows you the faith that he had in the Most High. That he continued for 120 years where everybody is against you. Everybody's calling you all kinds of names. You know how Jake is creative. Calling you all kinds of names, you know. Talking shit about you. All those things.
Okay, the prophets. Mostly. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day of Noah entered into the ark.
It's like every day. So like today also, you know, I came by the other way because the door that I normally took was shut, was closed. So I went to, I have to go a little bit to the centrum, whatever. And they had the breast band going on. So Jake was there, you know, all being in Lala, and the Lala thing, you know. So like last week you celebrate that the slavery was done for 150 years or 160 years, you know. I think it's 160 years. And now a week later you're already there like the sun is shining, I'm in La La Land. Jake has no clue, man. Like the brother just read, in the days of Noah was the same thing. Going to these parties, you know, marrying, you know, just having a ball, having a good time. And then, then they see the door of the ark was shut. You know, the Most High closed the door of the ark. And then water started to fall from the sky. Then they were probably at first to be like, oh, it's water, nothing's gonna go. You know, water was even coming from the earth, you know. Then they realized that it didn't stop. Everything started to flood. Then they want to believe. It's the same way because look, man, the scriptures talk about in the book of Revelation, and you know, when Yahushua is coming with his chariots, everybody's going to see it. You got to realize that even the children channels, where they have cartoons all days, they're going to broadcast chariots all over the earth, so everybody's going to see it.
The podcaster is gonna film it, so podcast dudes,
emergency broadcast.
Everybody's gonna film it, so everybody's gonna see it. And then they're gonna believe, well, on that moment you're already too late. You're gonna be too late. This is the time to get back to Yahweh Shabbat. Get back in order. But people don't like rules, man. They only like the rules of the so-called white man. Those are the laws, the rules that they want to follow. Because it's been gripped into them, you know, very good, firm, with a firm weapon. Those are the things that they want to hold on to. Yeah.
And they knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
Yeah, because when the flood came and they started to die, then they knew like, oh, he was right. Yeah, but it's too late. And the moment when they're going to see the chariots, they're going to be like, oh, they're right. I remember like when the C-19 just hit, you know, at that time in the beginning we were still standing at one camp, and then this female came with a stroller, and she came running towards us, you know, because the C-19 just hit.
Yeah,
And we were talking about this years ago, you know, before it even happened, that this is going to happen, you know. And then they were like, what do I need to do? You know, because that shows you, like I said earlier, people know that we are here. You know, they don't really know what we preach, but they know some things, you know. All of them, because people pass by, they pick up a little bit, you know. They don't want to know it.
So by word of mouth, people talk a lot.
Yeah, also, yeah.
With each other and shit. I think somebody's whooping him. Deep down, I think.
That's what you get. You bug up. Nobody spares me innocent.
That's right.
Yeah. Kan up?
And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Yeah, it's going to be the same way. Can you go to 2 Genesis 9 and 20? Yeah, so when Yahushua is coming back, people's going, you know, chariots going to shoot some laser beams, you know. Third World War is going to be in full effect. Then the people are going to realize, like, oh, they were right. They talk about this. You know, it's all hell. MOT and the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is being made mandatory. You know, people are taking the rights in their own hands. Look what happened in France a couple of days ago. I think now it's calm there, over there. Now it calmed down. These Israelites were going crazy over there. You know, rioting. And France is infamous for that. You know. With the yellow vest, you know, the whole country was, how many months was that going on? That was a long time going on, you know.
Vest.
The country, huh?
Was it not a year or something?
Yeah, it could be a year even, yeah. It was a long time going on, man. The whole country was messed up. That shows you, when people get angry, you know, what you gonna do?
I saw a picture with the police guy on the floor and the African putting his knee on his head.
Yeah?
That was,
friends?
yeah, man. They put it on, I don't know, it went viral or something. But George Floyd him. He George Floyd his ass, man. He said he put his knees on his neck, man. Yo.
Yeah, but that's also the thing, you know, Jake, you know, hey, I also saw that clip, it's also on YouTube. In the favelas, when the police enter there, I saw a couple of clips, well, more clips. You had this one clip, you had two police officers, they were just standing there with their hands up.
Yeah,
You saw the Jakes coming with the guns and this and that pointing on them. So the police were in the favelas, they could do nothing, you know. And you also had the clip, you had the whole, they were sitting at a line, a bunch of them, like 8 or 10 police officers. They were sitting on the lines and the gangsters were there, you know, with the guns, they had them. And don't forget, the police in favelas, they doing horrible shit with Jake over there, because when they grab Jake, a lot of them die on the spot there.
Yeah.
Even they are in chains, tied up, you know, in the handcuffs, and then they just beat them to death. You know? Things like that they do there with them. So of course, when they get the police, they're gonna do the same thing with them.
Yeah. Execution style.
Yeah.
Reap what you saw, basically.
Yeah. That's true, man. Read your stuff. Oh yeah, go, yeah, read 2 Esdras.
2 Esdras chapter 9 verse 22. Let the multitude perish them, which was born in vain.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, the majority of the people, they are just born for the sword. They're just born for the slaughter. They're just born to start scoffing and talk shit and then later to be put to death. That's why Yahushua started to talk in parables. All those people who were there, they came to listen to him. He had to go on a boat because otherwise the people could not see him. He had to go on the boat, go a little bit on the sea so that everybody could see him, because the whole shore was filled with people. And then he started talking in all these dark sayings. make sure that they would not get it, because they need to be put to death. It's not for them. Yeah, man. The disciples were like, oh my Lord, what are you doing? They're never gonna understand it. Yeah, it's not for them. They don't need to understand it. If they understand it, I have to save them. I don't want to save them. They are the Most High don't want them, you know. He has this election. He has the elected one, you know, the 1/3 in America, the elect, and the unnumberable multitude. Because the Most High has mercy on who He has mercy. Because not everybody's going to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to us. Yes. We're going to go into captivity anyway, so we're going to be destroyed anyway. So yeah. You can call sorry whatever, man. Like this so-called for you, so-called King Willem Alexander.
Sorry.
You can be South Park sorry. We're sorry. You can be sorry whatever you are, however you want. You know, you're going to pay anyway. That sorry ain't going to save your ass. That's investigation that you are doing according to your family to see what part they have according to slavery. It ain't going to save you. No, man.
9-year-old kids can find more information about that period of time just by going on Google, man.
Exactly, but he has to go do this deeply special investigation, personal investigation. Get the fuck out of there, man. And Yahweh Razah, I want him to live. I don't want him to die. I want him to live, you know. So Willem Alexander, stay healthy, you know, stay alive, so that we can put you in chains, you know.
He's one of the nobles, so I think maybe Yahweh Razah,
man.
You know? Feathers. Yeah, man.
This beautiful feathers. Oh, can you grab it? Psalms 149.
The kings with chains of feathers.
Let the saints sing on the bed. Start from there.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Exactly. Be joyful in glory. It's a beautiful thing to look forward to. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. When the first time when I read it, I'm like, oh, there's so beautiful words, man. Feathers of iron. This sounds so beautiful, man. I'm like, oh.
Let the high praises of the Heavenly Father be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand.
A two-edged sword, a sharp cutting sword in the hand. The high praises, Ka'al Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You know?
Verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people.
To execute vengeance. Wouldn't it be beautiful when the Most High give you that spiritual power, you know? You're going to be that ground soldier, just running through those heathens, you know, with your sword. Heads flying, you know, it'd be like cartoon style, you know?
Yeah, man. And,
people screaming, don't know where to run to.
I'm reminded of it every time when I'm in a bunch of, you know, heathen people. I see no Jake, I see just like 50, 60 people coming down the stairs. I'm like, man, all you motherfuckers.
You better run with one.
Shit! Wow!
I think yesterday was an Edomite, you know, big buff Edomite, and he was looking at me the whole time like this. So I was like, you know, and he'd be like, and I look at him, and I was in my head, I was cursing him. I was sorry, shalach, right? You know, because I know the hate in him. You know, I was seeing it in his face. He was like, look at me like, hey, I hate this nigga. And I was like, hey, better say it. You know, you can look me like that, but I had rather have that you say it to me. You know,
you don't got the balls to.
Yeah. Then you got these other Edomites, they're smiling with you. But meanwhile, they think.
Yeah, man.
Never trust thine enemy, man.
Yeah, man. So imagine yourself, you see the bunch of people, so you run there with your sword, and then you stand on the other side of the crowd, and then you see them, you know, like Mortal Kombat, you see them like partying and doing this, that, you know, just, you know, you standing there like 2 seconds, and you be like, then they die. You see the whole crowd is death, you know.
Yeah, man, the head is still on it, but it's already separated.
It's already cut, you know.
It's cut.
1 second you go through them, you know. It's like you didn't even had your sword out of the shed, or how you call it, you know. Yeah, it's still in the shaft. It's like, it seems like it's still in the shaft. The only thing that they see is see you like this, and then standing like this, you know. Like it never went out. And then you see them all like go down.
Yeah, man.
Lovely, man.
Yeah, man. This is a beautiful thing to look forward to.
Verse 8. Psalms chapter 149 verse 8. To bind the kings with chains and the nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, Makala Yahuwah Shem Yahushai, man. So hey, that would be beautiful if we can, you know, take part of that, you know. Can you imagine that? So-called King Willem-Alexander screaming for mercy. Oh, alsjeblieft, ik wil dit niet. His wife Maxima.
Ik ben ook naar Suriname geweest.
Childe, Femke Halsema. Oh, is dat alleen maar omdat ik die route niet wou lopen?
Nah, I guess I give you a flashback. Look what you more did, and then you give him a flashback.
Yeah, man.
You see, remember this?
Best life.
Before you get them, you know, they already see it in their mind, like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know you fucked up, right?
I know you fucked up, right?
Where was it?
Yes. Peters.
Venus. I had also one because you was talking about it. Yes, meditate.
Oh, meditate
Yeah,
theory.
it's 33. Yeah, I'm here.
It's 33 and
18, eh? Yeah, Karen. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 18. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers?
Yeah, thine heart shall meditate terror. And you also have that other one, you shall meditate terror day and night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can go to verse 1, chapter 33.
Karen. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou hast not spoiled.
Yeah, woe means lamentation, evil times to thee that spoils, and thou was not spoiled. Oh, why you need to talk about slavery again? It happened a long time ago, this and that. Yeah, you're feeling untouchable. You're top of the world, right? You can do whatever you want. Talk all this shit, nobody's going against you, right? Kana?
And dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled.
Yeah, because right now you still have the power. You can still do whatever you want. Go tweet, and don't forget, these Edomites, they treat all the heathens bad, you know, because they really think that they are the shit, or like shit, you're going to be flushed away, you know, after slavery. You know, when you put a big dump in your toilet, you know, you're done, you wipe your ass, you flush it, and it's gone, you know, spray a little bit so you don't smell it anymore, you know. So that's going to be with you, like his own dung, like the scripture said. I think it's in Job.
Yeah, it's in Job 20.
You know, like his own dung is going to be perished. That's your future. So yeah, so you really have to enjoy. Go to all those festivals, you know, spend all your money on airplane tickets, you know, go on every holiday, you know, get all this luxury, you know, because when the slavery is there, when you're gonna suffer in hardcore slavery, after the slavery, you're gonna be burned up, you know, you're gonna be done away. So enjoy it, man, enjoy it. Enjoy your rulership, enjoy your queendom, you know.
When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end of to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Yeah, because now you think, you know, because they think like, okay, you know, it's been too long. People will be asking for apology, this and that. You can't go around it. Let's just do it. And Mark Rutte, I like the way that he did it, because his apology was not an apology. You know, people bought that, but people are stupid. Because he said very clear, the things that we did back then, we did not realize. What we did back then is nowadays a bad thing. So he's still saying like, it's not a bad thing what we did back then. For that time it was normal. No. That's what he said in his excuse. So that's not an excuse, he's not sorry. He's saying like, yeah, okay, for nowadays we cannot do that anymore. But for back then it was okay, you know? That is his excuse.
It's like a criminal. It's like a criminal 20 years after his last killing or something. I was a bad dude back in the days. Man.
Yeah.
That should. Nowadays I would not do it.
Exactly.
I'm pro now.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, you still killed 5 people when you were 16. And basically, you still gotta, you know,
You still gotta pay for it.
still gotta go to jail for that shit. You gotta go to jail still for that shit.
Yeah, you still gotta pay for it. And you don't forget, here in Holland, you have this tribunal in Den Haag. So they want to go to all those countries talking about so-called leaders and this and that. You're bad, you're a bad person, you're that person. So you're going to be judged here at Holland. You see how special these people are?
They're special.
You see how special they are? So they want to grab all these people from all those countries and judge them. What you did in your country is not good. We're going to judge you for that, you know? You're going to come to Den Haag and you're going to be judged for that, you know? But, oh, don't try to judge them. Yeah, you remember that leader from Yugoslavia, he committed suicide.
Karasic.
He took that potion.
Moscow. What's his name again?
Remember his name?
The one with the gray hair.
Yeah.
He
took that.
Karasic.
Because you got to remember, Holland also had a big part in that. Because I remember one dude, he eventually killed himself. He was a soldier back then. And he came back all messed up. Because don't forget, these soldiers, what they always have to do, because they play like there's a civil war going on, this and that, their people are slaughtering the people. No, it's they. They are going there because they broke that country up, because they used to live in harmony with each other. They were strong. Among themselves, they were strong, you know. They were stronger than Europe, so they had to break them down, you know, create a diversity. Or they're Muslim, they're Christians. Let's go and fight against each other. So they start, you know, there's the same thing with Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and stuff, you know. Let them, you know, on the so-called name, under their name, kill their women and children, you know, because that's what they used to do. The Dutch people, they were at a school or something, or some place somewhere, where they killed all these women and children, you know, and they said that, I believe they said that Croatian soldiers did it or so, but they did it, you know. They did it because that dude, he was all messed up, you know. He told me a little bit, and eventually he committed suicide, you know. Because those are the things. You gotta imagine, if you are a soldier, you are trained to fight against other soldiers, but then they let you murder women and children. So you be standing there with your gun, women and children begging you for mercy, with no weapons, and you have to shoot them. You have to murder them and blame it on the enemy. You know?
Yeah, that is what they did.
I found the general's name. I was in. I'm mistaken him for Karasic. Back in the days, we had that president, but his name is General Praljak. Slobodan Praljak.
Slobodan, yes. He killed himself in jail. In
right, live on camera.
Yeah, live on camera.
So they basically want to blame him for it, but you know, he had the inside info, because you got to imagine, this court thing at Den Haag is highly security. It's a lot of security. So he had that thing, you know, that back in the days when you go to the doctor, when you have the cough and syrup, he had that poison in the thing like that. So how can you bring in something that is highly security, with highly security, you bring something like that, you're going inside where the judge is there, so you have that little thing right there. So you want to tell me that you are able to bring that? You go to security people, they are like strip search you. You know, you have to stand like this with your arms open. You have to stand like this. They're going to check if you got something in your pockets or whatever. So you got the thing. It was not even a cap on it. You know, it was already open. So you want to tell me that you can bring that to the court and nobody catch it from you?
It's an inside job.
Look at the perfect picture.
You can show it on the
perfect picture they have of it, man. Like perfect.
It's an inside job.
Yeah, man. So you want to tell, because he knew some inside info. So they, you know, it's the same thing. They just give you an option. You know, or you go to jail, because you can imagine he had to go at least 25 years or something. You know, that's something that they wanted to give him, at least 25 years. So he had two options. One thing, it was not even an option, you need to shut up. You cannot tell the truth, because they are playing and they all take a part of it. And when things don't really go, because the majority of the time they don't go exactly how they want it to go, then somebody needs to be the fall guy. So he was pinpointed to be the fall guy. You did it, you are behind all those killings, so you're going to be judged for all those killings, right? He didn't, so they gave him, okay, you can do two things. If you talk, you're going to get your family, your wife and children, you know, they're going to be fucked up. Or you're going to go to jail for at least 25 years and shut up. Or we got this potion here. It's going to kill you before 60 seconds. It's done. You're done. Yeah, he took that option.
Yeah.
Live on camera. I don't remember exactly what he said. He said some things and then he took it. Done.
Nobody moved. Like, oh, what the
Yeah, they were like so-called
Yes.
amazed, stunned with amazement, like, oh, what just happened? And then they were like, oh, let's try to save him. Oh, we are too late. And then they investigate, oh, it was this and this stuff. But nobody ever questioned, like, how was he able to get that inside?
That is what you say, brother. Like, hey, this is the treachery dealing what they do with all the nations. And I have a precept if you want on it. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that ate thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in it.
Yeah, because, and that's what's happening right now. More and more people seeing America for what they are. Seeing how they create all this fake wars, all this fake news about terrorists, this, terrorist, that, this country, this and that and that. But yet you are fighting everywhere, because everywhere you want some stuff. Oh, there's oil there, but they have gold there. Let's start something there. You know, we need to get our hands on this. You know, those are the things that do. But people are starting to see them for what they are. You know, don't think that Japan has forgotten the Hiroshima, that they forgot about it. They know about it. Though. They didn't forget about the Americans. Yeah, they so-called friendly with the bowing down. Hello. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Yeah, they so-called friendly, but they don't forget you. They're smiling with them. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Yeah, they don't forget you.
They moved it forward, basically.
Yeah, they keep on telling their children. You know?
That's something on Isaiah chapter 14 verse 5. The heavenly Father had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing going on right now. They are going down, you know. You see, you know, for example, even Israel. They went to some asylum seeking camp or whatever, and they said there were terrorists there. So they had a couple of days, they were there. One soldier got killed, and so then they have to retreat, you know. They don't have the strength anymore that they used to have in the beginning. America also. More and more countries be like, fuck you. Iran is like, okay, we are just making all this thing for the nuclear weapons. We are just going to make it. What you going to do about it? North Korea is like, okay, we are going to make these missiles. He's testing missiles and stuff.